Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce over 8 new characters in this story by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that some of the characters, the new ones specifically, are really going to be used as a way in order to evolve the characters of Rey and Kylo from start to finish of this film, and I think it's pretty safe to say that by far, one of the more interesting new characters in this movie is of course the new villain, also known as the Dark Acolyte. Now these past couple of weeks or so we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the set leaks, this is where things begin to get very exciting for the new villain in Star Wars Episode 9. Now specifically what's really exciting about all of this is that it's described that one of the scenes that were filmed during the month of January of this year involved both Daisy Ridley, Adam Driver, and an unnamed actor in a black cloak portraying the new villain in the film. It's said to be a very emotional and intense scene between the 3 characters that JJ put in the film during the rewrites. One of the scenes that were shot included a moment in which the unnamed actor was lifted by wirework and was performing a high front flip in mid-air above Kylo and Rey while wielding an ignited lightsaber. The costume design that was used for the scene was dubbed as Vance Millar's Sith Cloak. One of the other scenes that were shot included a moment in which Adam Driver was instructed to act in a way as if he was using a force push technique against Vance over the edge of a large piece of wreckage in front of a green screen, where one of the props used on set was dubbed as Vance Millar's lightsaber hilt. The saber hilt is said to be silver in design with gold trims on each end. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this, because the new Dark Acolyte, or the new villain, whatever have you, really seems to be very interesting in my point of view, and it seems like it's really going to be the highlight of The Rise of Skywalker. The fact that we are going to get a brand new villain that is going to be more evil than any other villain that we have seen before in the Star Wars franchise is honestly very inspiring for the Skywalker saga. Now, I want to go over the character's name. Now, the costume design is described as Vance Millar, so V-A-N-C-E, and the last name being M-I-L-A-R. Now, this new villain is said to hold a connection to the spirit of Sidious. Now, though we are getting a brand new villain, this new villain is actually said to eventually become Palpatine himself at some point in time in the 3rd act of the movie, where the spirit of Sidious takes over his own consciousness. Now, what I like about that is that this basically is diving directly into Star Wars Legends while also giving us something new. So the one part that I do want to go over is that this is obviously one of the sequences involving both Kylo Ren and Rey going up against the new villain in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, the Dark Acolyte is said to only be hinted and teased within the 2nd act of Episode 9 and will actually have a lot of scenes in the 3rd act where both Rey and Kylo Ren are forced to confront this new threat. So, J.J. Abrams, we do know that he's really, aiming high for this movie. He's trying to really make this one the best of the trilogy, and by doing so, he wanted to include a new villain that would force the interactions between both Rey and Kylo Ren, and to force their alliance to take down a threat that they have never seen before, a power that they have never sensed before in Star Wars film history. So with that being said, the fact that we are getting something to that magnitude, I think is very exciting for the franchise. Now, this character, Vance, is actually said to be a character that is very much based off of one of the Legends characters, a popular Legends character, if I will. And the fact that they used a Legends character as a form of inspirational material to make the Dark Acolyte, also known as Vance Millar, placing him in a role that's going to be very much big in The Rise of Skywalker's 3rd act, it really does surprise me, the fact that they are using so much Legends content in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. So looking past all of this, there has been a lot of talk that Matt Smith himself, the actor of Doctor Who, he also played Terminator Genesis, is said to be the new villain in this movie. In fact, it was a little suspicious when Disney and Lucasfilm decided to take his name off of all the StarWars.com international websites movies, when a lot of people started talking about it, to really kind of hide the fact that he is indeed in this movie. And you can really see what JJ's trying to do here. He's really trying to create a conflict within Kylo Ren, to try and create a reason of a Ben-demption, if you will, or a Ben Solo redemption arc. And to me, I think that's one of the more clever ways to go about doing this, is by adding in a redemption arc that's going to be initiated by a villain that is far more powerful than Kylo Ren, where he needs Rey by his side to take down this very own character. And I think that, you know, that really is a great way to turn Kylo Ren back to the light. One would argue on whether or not Kylo deserves to turn to the light side of the Force because he killed his own father, Han Solo, and if it's really a good idea or a bad idea to bring Kylo Ren back to being a good man again as Ben. Now, with that being said, guys, what do you think about the new villain in The Rise of Skywalker? I would really love to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.